where we can go into Putin territory. And then it goes to Hollywood, the Rahm Emanuels. That is the first smokescreen to get past. And we're just breaking down those smoke screens. Hey, Ari. How you doing, Ari?
Hey, I want to jump in really quick, and I will say.
Yeah, I can't give folks back to late night. That ain't happening. No.
Oh, go ahead.
The blacklisting of, people like Ye, people like Alex Jones, people like Nick Fuentes, people like myself. Everybody watching should understand we're living in a dangerous time now where people are being shut down and having their money frozen. Okay, imagine not being able to access your bank account because somebody in a boardroom decides that they don't agree with what you're saying. And so, for people who are critical, of Ye, Nick, Alex, myself, or whoever, right? Just think of how fast the tables could turn. And I think this is what you've been talking about for years, Alex. You've been warning people about what's coming for years. And now people want to act like, oh, well, how did we get to this point? Censorship is the reason why we've got to this point. Okay, so, these things wouldn't be happening if people weren't being censored.
Well, sure, Laura, can I ask you this question? Because, you're a smart, successful, pro-America Jewish lady that it's an American that lives in Florida. From my experience studying what goes on in politics, aren't Jews like everybody else, like left-wing, right-wing, and different factions fighting with each other and everybody else like any other group? I mean, I understand there's powerful groups in Hollywood and all these mafias, but it's like we don't blame Italians for the Italian mafia. And when I criticize the Jewish mafia, which is one of the most powerful in the world, which I don't like, I don't dislike because they happen to be Jewish, I happen because they're a mafia. That's really how I think we stigmatize it and just say no to the mafia that is the ADL in Hollywood. Or do you disagree with that or agree? Or you want to say something?
Look, there's factions within any group, right? I don't think that you can really generalize any group. I think that when you look at the demographics of Jews in America, over 73% of Jews vote Democrat. And so when you see a lot of people making decisions who happen to be Jewish, it's coming from a left-wing perspective. But I'm a nationalist. I'm a nationalist and I'm Jewish, and I've been a very strong supporter of President Trump.
And that's the question. Why were they so scared of you? Because you've been as much banned as me or even more. I mean, they have come after you. Why are they scared of Laura Loomer?
Because I'm a free speech absolutist, and regardless of what somebody may say, even whatever they may say about Jews or whatever they may have to say about Israel or Judaism, I'm not going to advocate for anybody to be silenced, anybody to be banned, or anybody to have their accounts shut down or their money frozen simply because of their viewpoints. This is America, and we need to promote free speech absolutism, and we need our politicians to start promoting free speech absolutism. And this is what when I ran for Congress twice in Florida, the first time in Trump's home district, which was actually the most Jewish district in the country, and then most recently in District 11, I ran on a campaign of free speech absolutism. No,
I know you do. So what about a First Amendment or a Bill of Rights party? That could transcend party lines. What about a free speech, pro-self-defense, First Amendment, Second Amendment party? I mean, how do we fix this yet?
Yo, reading the Bible up there.
We fix this with the word of Christ. The first book of Moses called Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
What kind of mic
The earth was without form and void.
Yo,
and
why are you reading like that?
Was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. That's where we start.
And they know that. That's why Prometheus shows that. All right, Laura, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yo, great.
Closing comments or yay? I want to move on to
Laura,
Ollie and
thank
folks.
you very much for calling and talk later. Thanks a lot.
All right, so good. That's good. Great. Nick, see you in Florida. You want to say something before we go to Ollie, Alexander, and Owen?
Yeah, I want to jump in and say that I agree. I think, though, that it's not so much about the Bill of Rights. I think it's really more about Christianity. I think that what America needs is a Christian party.
Oh, I agree. Politically, it's about our freedoms. But you're right. Christ is first.
Right. And it gets to the nature of Judaism, which is the fact that Jews do not believe that Christ was the Son of God. And in fact, they're the only group that hate Jesus. Muslims see Jesus as a prophet. Buddhists, Hindus see Jesus as a spiritual figure. Jews write in their Talmud that Christ is burning in hell. They don't like the cross.
Well, I think that's because he's kind of was taking over the thing. So at the end of the day, we worship a Jew, or we say he's not really a Jew.
It's not the same thing, though, because the kind of Judaism that we have now is not of the Old Testament. It's of the rabbinical oral tradition. So these people are worshiping.
They're not following the Old Testament. They're following the Zohar and the Talmud and all that.
That's right. Exactly. So
I mean, people should read that for themselves. What about Haile Selassie? Because this is what happened to Kyrie Irving, and it made me really mad. Because when I was a kid growing up reading comic books and stuff, I could read really early.
So Kanye drinking
I was like 5, I
Yoo-hoo?
could read like a 10-year-old. When I was 10, I could read like a college student. And so I put down comic books when I was about 8 because my mom had all these history books. And with some of them were picture history books, and I started reading those. And it's like a fact that Solomon married a bunch of black women. It's a fact that Ethiopia was Jewish. It's a fact that North Africa was Jewish. It's a fact that went on. And then Kyrie Irving puts out a video explaining that a bunch of North African blacks are intermarried and part Jewish, and Israel lets a bunch of blacks in because they can prove that their lineage, their names are Jewish names. So how is it anti-Semitic, and how does the ADL say it's anti-Semitic for black people who are related directly to King Solomon and King David, the line of Judah, which Haile Selassie was the leader of Ethiopia? That's where this whole movement comes from. To act like they don't know this, I'm not blaming Jews for this, I'm blaming the leftist ADL. To deny black Jews their heritage is a historic fraud. It's a damn historic fact. It's on Wikipedia. It's not even debated.
It's true, but it's not just the leftists, it's the right-wing ones too, you know, because in Israel, Ye was just showing me a clip the other day where they are racist towards the Sudanese or Ethiopian black Jews that immigrate into Israel. They kick them out. There's quotas.
Well, I mean, Israel's even mean to the Hasidic Jews now.
Quotas.
That's what I'm saying. They're waging war.
Right. So, and I agree with you. And what they've done to Kyrie Irving is just
Take Dr. Zelenko, beautiful person, wonderful guy. He'll tell you, he goes, yeah, what runs Israel's evil, and so is your groups.
Ben Shapiro just mad that Kyrie won't sign his basketball. Back to you, Nick.
But what about that issue? I'm sure you know about Haile Selassie and Kyrie Irving. Your take on Kyrie?
That's my brother. And I love the fact that just like now, it felt like you were in this battle by yourself, but now you got two warriors alongside of you, like gargoyles at the top of the buildings in New York, ready to fight for Christ. And when Kyrie put up that information, they always want to write me off and say, Ye is just so crazy, so crazy, so crazy. And then Kyrie was like, okay, here goes some information right here. Information is the unlock. There's 5 elements that the 1%, the elites, use to control the 99%, which are the masses. Those elements are water, food, shelter, medicine, and education. Which one of those 5 elements are the most important? Education, because with the knowledge, you can go get water, you can go get food, you can get shelter, and you can get medication.
They don't want independence.
I agree. And Kyrie